Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be showing you a deck profile that won first place in a tournament. It's a green hybrid deck profile using ancient Beetlemon as like the boss card. So this is a 12-player tournament that he managed to win. First of all, it's not my deck profile, it's my friend's deck profile. If you ever have a YouTube channel, I'll link it down below, but he's too lazy to make a channel. So anyway, it's a 12-player game. It's a best of 3 game, meaning that each match will have 3 rounds. So whoever has the best of 3 will win. So it's not a Swiss round where there's only 1 round like most tournament. So you know that this deck is very consistent considering it's winning a best of 3. So without further ado, let's start with the Digitama. So starting off, we have one Minomon, only one. So this is the Minomon that gives you 1000 DP when attacking your opponent's Digimon. So this deck is very focused on attacking your opponent's Digimon, so you are not attacking the security all that much. And then after that, you would have the Pinamon from BTO 6. So this is from BTO 3. And this is from BTO 6, so 4 of it, but I only have 2, so I'm just gonna show you. This is 4 of it. So this is his lineup for Digitama. So moving on to the rookies, he runs 4 Betamon. So this Betamon is like a generic green support. You could run this in other green decks. So his on-play effect is that you look at the top 3 cards and then you add either a Tamer or a level 4 green Digimon into your hand. So this deck you would need to see a lot of Tamers. So this would like filter out your deck to find those Tamers, and also you could like in a way filter out the level 4 Digimons. After that, he runs the Algomon, the BTO 2 ones. This is just a generic vanilla Digimon. Sorry, I confused it with Yu-Gi-Oh! So this from BTO 2, he just put it as like in case he want to have more field presence. And then he runs the structure deck. This is from the green starter deck. This is the Tentomon. So this one, when you play it, you look at the top card. If it's a green Digimon, you just add it to your hand. So this is just for more card draw. And then he runs the BTO 7 Bokomon. So this is a new rookie from BTO 7. So when you play it, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You get to either add a Digimon with hybrid in its trait, or a Digimon with 10 warriors in its trait, which is good because your whole deck is full of hybrids and 10 warriors. So this is a card searcher, and on top of that, you get to add 1 Tamer card. It says and a Tamer card. So if you look at the top 5 cards, there's a Tamer and the Digimon with those traits, you get to add 2 cards. So this is a very good card for value, so you get a lot of draw value from it. And then next up, he runs 3 Terraman. Sorry, I don't have 3. So this Terraman is from BTO 3. If you guys know his effect is that it prevents your opponent from adding memories other than Tamers. So this is a very good card to sort of control your deck, your opponent's deck from going up too crazy, because there's a lot of cards that lets them add memory. So this is, in a way, this deck is sort of half control and half offensive, and that's it for the rookies. Next up, you have the level 4. So for the level 4, you have Beetlemon. This is the hybrid Digimon, the green hybrid Digimon. So his first effect is that the standard hybrid Digimon effect, it can evolve on top of your green Tamer. So for this cost, for 2 costs. So when you evolve it, you get to look at 5 cards in your on top of your deck, and you get to add 1 JP Shibayama, which is the Tamer that evolved into it in Digimon Frontiers, or a Digimon with hybrid in its trait. So this just adds more sort of card value, card draw. Next up, you have Rhino Carbuterimon. So again, this could evolve on top of your green Tamers, but only for only 2 2 memory costs. And when you evolve it, if there's a JP Shibayama or a hybrid in its Digivolution source, you get to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with DP 6000 or below. And this is good because you can also evolve it on top of the Beetlemon, because it has 2 Digivolution costs. So one is on top of a standard level 3 and one more is on top of a level 4. So my friend say this is an MVP, like it's a very good card. Like suspending something that's 6000, you could suspend like a blocker, which is pretty good, and then you attack into it. And the next level 4, surprisingly, he only runs 2 blockers, so total there's only 10 level 4s. So this blocker is from the starter deck one, the green starter deck, so it's a 1 evolution cost one. So let's move on to level 5. Next up is the level 5. So for the level 5, he runs 4 of the Digizoption Digimons. It used to be called Download. I like the name Download more than Digizoption. Sounds so weird. So considering this is like limited to 1, so he only runs 1. If not, this will be just full of Algomon. So this is Blossomon. This is from BTO 3 and this is from BTO 2. This is a very good card. So anyway, next up, the level 5 is he runs the Rhino Carbuterimon. So this one is a very good card in this deck. So first up, if you Digivolve it on top of a Digimon that has a Tamer in its Digivolution source, the memory cost, the Digivolution cost is reduced by 2, so you only Digivolve it up with 1 memory. So, and his next effect is when attacking, if in its Digivolution source there's a hybrid or an insectoid, you get to straight up evolve a level 5 10 warriors or insectoid on top of it. So a lot of times people use this to attack the opponent's Digimon, so they expect it to not go through, so they didn't block it, so you like surprise them with the level 6, like you could like Digivolve it like a surprise Digivolution. You never really seen this type of effect in any other Digimon card, so this is a very good card in this deck. So next up, we have the level 6, we have the bread and butter of this deck, which is the Ancient Beetlemon. So this is a 10 warrior, it's not a hybrid surprisingly, but it's a hybrid support. So once per turn, when one of your Digimon with 10 warriors or hybrid deletes your opponent's Digimon, you get to trash the top card of their security. Trash. This is not piercing. Piercing, you do security check, so your Digimon might die or it might activate one of the option cards like Gaia Force or not. So this straight up just trash it, so it doesn't activate anything, which is a really good card. And his effect doesn't only apply to him, it applies to all the hybrid cards that you have. So if all of them delete something, you get to essentially trash a few cards from the top of their security deck, which is super powerful. And this is only a rare card, it's not even like a super rare, which makes this deck very cheap to make. Next up, we have this card from BTO 5, which is, sorry, BTO 6, which was not very popular when it came out. Sorry, another thing I forgot to mention. When it dies, you get to summon out a level 4 green Digimon from your hand. So it has few presence even when it dies, so you summon up a level 4, so you get to recover your resources. And this is the Ancient Troymon from BT06. So this is, surprisingly, we put this in the deck because it's also a 10 warrior. So remember when I say this supports hybrid and 10 warriors, so the effect of trashing the top of the security pile also applies to him if he's on the field. And the other thing good about this deck card is that it's a crowd control card. So let's say your opponent is playing Rookie Rush on what. So his effect is that when your opponent attacks, you get to suspend 2 of their Digimon that is not a blocker. So if they have a lot of Digimon, you get to suspend 2, so essentially slowing down the game. And his other effect is also on deletion effect that is almost similar like him, but when he's deleted, you get to summon out a hybrid level 4 from your hand, so you get to recover your resources. So another level 6 that he runs, which is very surprising, is the what's this called? This is Nidogmon. I forgot its name. So this Nidogmon, this used to be a very strong card and there's a deck built around it. It's still a very strong card. That's why my friend plays it. He say this actually helps him win a lot of matches. One of the reasons, because people don't expect you to run this card in a 10 warriors deck. So this was like a surprising, because last time when this card was meta, the problem with this card is if people know you're running this deck, they won't put out all their resources out, so they will like sometimes keep the Digimon in their breeding zone and not put it out. So people didn't expect it, so a lot of times they put up all their Digimons, and then if they are all suspended, this just returns them to their deck. I know you may thinking like, oh, this deck is Digivolve from a Tamer. So a lot of people say if you Digivolve it from a Tamer, you lack the resources for it to activate the effect. But you are forgetting that the Beetlemon, this one, it could evolve. This Beetlemon could evolve into it. So essentially you have enough resource to activate its effect. So this is a very good bot wipe. But he did say something that sometimes he feels like he has too much of this, so he's considering adding one more ancient Beetlemon. So you guys just tweak it according to your playstyle. Alright, so next up we have the Tamers. So this deck would have to run more Tamers than the usual deck, because this is a hybrid deck, so it needs a lot of Tamers. So we pick up all the best green Tamers out there. So first up we have the BT01 Mimi. So if you guys don't know what Mimi does, if you have a level 5 green Digimon, you can tap her and you can either hatch an egg or bring a Digimon out from breeding zone. So she's very good. And on top of that, if you have two or less memories, you put it up to 3. Wow, it's been so long, I almost forgot her effect. Next up, we have the most important Tamer for this deck. So this guy is meant to evolve to Beetlemon in the anime, so it makes sense that he's in this deck. So his effect is, of course, if you attack into it in a security, you put him out into play, and then if you Digivolve him into a Digimon, you get to reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 1. So this is very good, essentially turning your Beetlemon into a 1-cost Digivolution. And surprisingly, they don't do this last time. This Tamer has an ESS, so it has a Digivolution effect. So it gives your Digimon piercing. So this deck attacks a lot of Digimon, opponent's Digimon, so having piercing is very good to close up the game. Next, he plays Ken. Sorry, I only have 1. So he plays 2 of this. So this is a card from BT03. So same like Mimi, if you have 2 or less memories, he put it up to 3. But his other effect is that when you delete your opponent's Digimon successfully, you get to add 1 memory. So well, it's good in a way, but people used to not run this card a lot, but I guess in this deck it's pretty good because you need a lot of green Tamers. And another card that he was considering running, but he ended up not running, but he said a lot of times he wished it was this card instead. This is the Thunder Laser from BT07. So this is a card, it lets you, if you have a hybrid in play, a hybrid Digimon, you get to suspend 1 of your Digimon. So it's very good because this deck you need to attack into your opponent's Digimon, and you can only attack it if it's rested, so it's only one cost to rest a card. So a lot of times he say he wished this was this, and sometimes he wished it was this. So you guys just test this deck out and see what fits your playstyle. So that's it for the Tamers. So this is the ratio for the rookies. You have 2 Tentomon, 3 Algomon, 4 Betamon, and 4 Bokomon, and 3 Terraman. So these are the rookies lineup. So this is the ratio of his level 4. So 2 blockers, 4 Beetlemon, and 4 Rhino Carbuterimon. One of the difficulties of this deck is that these 2 artwork looks the same, and if you're if you play the Japanese version but you don't know how to read Japanese, it can be confusing sometimes because the artwork sort of look in like a kind of similar. So he runs 8 level 5, so this is the ratio, so you guys can have a look. So this is the ratio of the level 6, so you have 2 of the Troymon, 3 of the Nidokmon, and 3 of the Ancient Beetlemon. So you could take this out and replace it with 1 more of this, so according to your playstyle. So this is his Tamer lineup. So you have 4 Shibayama, 2 Mimis, and 2 Kens, which he say you can consider running this card instead. So that's it for his deck profile. It's a very cheap deck to make. The only expensive card that I can think of is maybe Mimi and maybe Nidokmon, which is not very expensive. It's like only 8 ringgit as well. So I hope this deck profile has been helpful for you guys, and if you guys like contents like this, do consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye.